Hello everybody, this is Max Farrell from DexFXMarkets.com, and this is the Dex Atomic, and we're going to talk a little bit more in detail the short-term overview of your yield for short-term and knowing your tools. Now, just as a quick recap, the short-term yield is the idea of any system that can deliver your monthly goal recurring in a short term. Day trading, gambling, businesses that yield daily or monthly income, and or our TNT strategy system can be done, and because it can happen relatively short term, this is where we get the phrase short-term yield. Now, how does the short-term benefit? Well, the short term means that you have the following challenges, that you personally have just a little time to be able to trade or work this process. You only have a little bit of money to start with. You need a good return in a very short period of time, so you can either be working from home, quit your job, or do what have you. And you're okay with medium risk. This will benefit you on the short term. If not, then you would look at the medium term or the long term options that are made available. Now, TNT trading on Nadex. The TNT stands for Trend Negate Trade System that we created that trades on a 1 and 2 hour trading platform on the North American Derivative Exchange. It stands for Nadex. And Nadex has a very powerful system over there that we utilize our signals and process on. Now, that TNT strategy system is based upon not just a signal, but also on a charting platform. In fact, let me take you over and you can have a look. This is basically one of the platforms for the TNT strategy. It has a signal base that comes out once an hour, all day long. Now, it also has a 2 hour version of this as well, but we're looking right now. Of course, all the training and everything else you need. But this is where the real power is in the charting system itself. Why? Because you see these little arrows? These are Prioritory's 2 hour system called the MDM system. Now, this MDM system is very powerful because it gives you a direction to be able to work with your EMA and support and resistance. That's what these other lines are. So there's 3 tools here besides the chart. There's an EMA, the arrow plotting system for the MDM 5-minute or MDM system, and support and resistance lines, which we teach you how to use in the process. We teach you what the pattern looks like when it comes in, so you're looking for a down pattern with a significant arrow heading for that direction. And once that arrow appears, these are non-painting arrows, so if you're already looking at this going, oh, I've seen this kind of thing before, what you have to look at right now is that coupled with the direction of the EMA and the levels and where the arrows actually come out at, this makes this a high yielding system for you to be able to know this pattern and be able to follow it. Losses over the win ratios of success and risk to reward is very, very moderate. So it's strong. And once you start to see that pattern, you can't unsee it. Trust me. With some other tools of our new system on board, it is a very powerful network. Now, you could choose to do 1 hour or 2 hour. The higher the time frame, the less risk there is, the more success there is. But it uses the same kind of platform. Along with our data collection system, you'll be able to see what success ratios every pair has and at what time frames do they work the best. That's what this company's about, is data. And if you don't have a company that's prepared to show you the data of what its program does, then you might as well just keep looking, right? So no matter what thing you're doing out there, gambling or building a business or doing whatever for your short term, you have to find reasonable amount of data to go with it. Does it work? And when I say data, I'm not talking about 1 or 2 days. This is months and months and months worth of data coming over. Our daily signals have been running for 6 years. So imagine the amount of data we have there. Even under our training platforms for the 5-minute TNT signals, using a 5-minute process that we talk about later, it's huge. There is a tremendous amount of solution in here for you to have this data. And when you go back and look at the solution itself, it has so much data that it almost kind of makes you feel like it's like almost overwhelming, right? So the point is, what I'm trying to get to here is that you have to find the correct process to work with your short term. If you find something that yields out longer and it's going to take you a year, then you're really not in short term, you're in medium term. So you got to make sure that the risk is valued. So the longer you go out, the less risk there should be. Make sense? Okay, so let's talk about the TNT trading system. Of course, one of the things is that you have to ask is how much time will it take? Well, the TNT with no experience whatsoever can take to 30 to 60 days to really get under your belt, because you have to learn it and you have to train on it. Now, you know that they're both separate. Learning and watching a video and seeing somebody do it for a couple of seconds doesn't really make you train in it. You have to train your body and your reflex to be able to handle what you're about to do, winning and losing, and learning how to do that. And it takes a lot of effort, trust me. It's not something that you're going to learn in just a day or two. How much money do you need to start? Well, I can't answer that specifically, but I can tell you, for me, what we have seen is the best cases of success come when you have a good amount of balance in there, $1,000 to $2,000. But don't worry, if you don't have that in from day one, you don't really need it in day one. What you need to do is come in and learn how to learn what the system is and train in it. And you'll train in what we refer to as demo, fake money really. And you'll learn how to train in that process to get yourself a reward. And once you get to that reward and your goal is met, you can start training with live and start working with live money. But you're going to do so at the lowest denominator possible. So we're really going to get you in trading and teach you how to incrementally crawl upwards. Okay, so here's a breakdown of the pathway for the short-term yield. You have to look at, you're going to be learning the TNT. It takes about 1 or 2 days to go through the videos, okay, to get the understanding of it, to watch and maybe listen to them 3 or 4 times. If you have no experience whatsoever, this is where you're going to start at. You might be even faster. It might only take you an afternoon. But the training in the TNT itself, of doing the trades, using patience and discipline to get to your consistency so you can get to your goal, takes between 30 to 60 days, even for somebody who has experience trading. Trust me, this is not going to be like anything else you've ever seen before or worked with before. So you're going to have to train in this section. While training slowly, start to build the money into Nadex. That's right. Go collect coconuts or cans or do something on the side to bring you some money. If you don't have it now, go earn it, even if it's $20, $30, $40, $50, $100 a month, to go put it in there. You'll find ways. We may even have a couple of ways for you to earn some extra cash by using our affiliate program. Just reach out to us and we'll work with you. Now, because you're part of the Dex Atomic system, we're going to help walk you through this process. And so once you have at least 1K, you're going to meet with us and you're going to meet with a rep, whether myself or Brian or Thor or Paul or somebody or Chris, and you're going to meet with one of these reps and they're going to go over and give you a thumbs up to go live. And that's where where the rubber meets the road for us, is that we hear from you the right wordage. We know that you've done the training. We know you've worked hard, and now it's time. And because once you go live, there's no going back. Okay? There's no going back to not being able to make your money. So we want to make sure you got it right. Okay? You're going to build your incremental crawl until you can yield your desired monthly income. And then once you do that, once live begins and you begin to live that process, your balance at the same time, you're going to be putting aside money into the next level, which is the medium-term yield. And yes, I did say putting. I read it right as I wrote it. And I'm not going to edit that. I'm going to keep that in just for fun. Other ways to within our network to get to your short-term yield. I was a little flustered by that last one. Daily Signals, of course. Our Daily Signals are 6 years old. And they have a lot of stuff, but they're boring as hell. And the exciting thing is that what's happened on number 3, but the process of daily trading is very difficult and making the time to do so. Luckily, we have experience with doing this. And luckily, you know the times that they come out and when they come out. We have some special things for you guys that are asking for ways for the daily systems to communicate with you as well. We have some very special things called Discord that you'll now be able to get them remotely by your phone as well. So pretty powerful, but they're still boring. There is something that's less boring, which is the 5-minute trading system, but it's got a high rate of risk. For those of you that are like, I like 5 minutes because they give me a lot more money faster. Yes, they do, but they can also take your money faster. You're going to have to do the same amount of training with 5 minutes as you would with 1 hour. But that same amount of time that would take you 30 days to do a 1 hour trade is only going to take you maybe a week to do in 5 minutes. You're going to get the same amount of information because the charts are the same. They look the same. They act the same. They smell the same. But your 5-minute trading is going to get you there. But I wouldn't suggest it. I really wouldn't. The power of 5 minutes, they tend to hook you into a mentality. And sometimes you get in too quick and get out too fast or not in fast enough or what have you. And if you have any distraction whatsoever, I would not trade the 5 minutes at all. If you have no time to be able to do it and you're trying to shuffle them in right after work of a long 8-hour day, do not do them. We're going to talk about the Einstein window later on in training. Now, third on the list, the Xenon automated trading system. Now, this takes a little bit longer, but it's automated, highlighted, automated. And that means that we're one of only 3 companies in the entire world that have ever built an automated system for Nadex. And because of that, the reason why somebody hasn't built, a whole bunch of companies have built it, because it's tough as hell. So keep that in mind, okay? It's just a tool. It's just a tool for you to be able to use. Now, this can be used in conjunction with your manual trading, okay? And it can trade the dailies, the 5 minutes, the TNTs. It can trade all that stuff. But that special note down the bottom, you better hear me, okay? The Xenon is just a tool and can trade all the above, the TNT system, everything. But it takes longer and you need more money to sustain it. And I mean by that is that because you're not trading in short bursts throughout the day when you have time, it could trade over a whole day for you. And it could put on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trades. And if you're not careful, if you don't have the balance to cover it, you could end up losing. Okay, so keep that in mind, that this is something that is a very powerful tool, but it's still just that, a tool. If you haven't learned how to use a hammer, what makes you think I'm going to give you a pneumatic nailer? You're going to have to validate yourself into that Xenon system and to make sure that you have the proper training to be able to use it before we'll even let you go live with it. So it's not something I'm just going to give to you and you're going to walk in and start trading live with the first day. You still got work to do. Now, that's basically all I got for you in this short-term yield one. We will break this down even further as we go and how to step them and overlap the yield terms to be able to get that in there. But this gives you enough for now to start working with. I don't want to bore the hell out of you with too much stuff in there, okay? So I'll see you in the next video. I'm Max Farrow, and this is the Dex Atomics trading system, and we'll see you next time. And as always, trade well.